Hey everybody, welcome back to Stone Face Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we're here watching some Legend of the Galactic Heroes. We got some comments here today, so let's see what people got to say. We got Jessica Jaws from the Patreon for the episode The Verge of Death, Part 1, saying, Bucock is the absolute best. He doesn't hold back at all with how frustrating dealing with his superiors is, and he doesn't hesitate to disobey orders to protect his sailors. He's one of the very rare examples of a truly competent command amongst the Alliance Navy, which is exactly why Yang chose to go through him. He knows Bucock would do whatever is necessary to get them out and safely, and more importantly, the Alliance probably can't do too much to punish him for the disobedience. He's one of the few attempting to correct for the awful initial plan. The Imperial plan, on the other hand, is flawless. I don't think the show makes it clear, but when the Imperial forces retreated before the Alliance arrived, they purposely took a bunch of the food off the planets and told the citizens that the Alliance would make up for the lost supplies, thus instantly forcing a demand for food from all the liberated planets. Reinhard then gives the situation a bit more time to worsen and forces their hand, pulling out the massive transport ships in a desperate attempt to feed the population. He's now set up to intercept those transports, push the Alliance forces, and return all the food as a hero, feeding the population. If all goes as he planned, then the Alliance will have just sacrificed an incredible amount of manpower, ships, and even food supplies to accomplish absolutely nothing.
My first thought is that I'm pretty sure his name is Bocock.
It's an E.
No, I know how it's written, but I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure every time they've said it, it's like Bocock or something like that.
Yeah, well, welcome to the world of I continue to read stuff and then never listen to how it's said, right?
Look, I'm like maybe 75%. Right, right.
Sure.
But so it's just funny hearing you say it though, because I'm pretty sure I've never heard that pronunciation when they've said it on the show.
That's what you're here for, everyone, to hear the new pronunciations coming out of my mouth.
That's right. We're
But
all here to hear the cock out of your mouth.
yeah. But Josh, you are right. I don't think they actually said in the show exactly what they were doing, that they were taking the food away. I think we either had to like imply or like guess at that. But like it seems moderately clear that the situation is obviously engineered, right?
I mean, I literally said before we even watched that
Yeah.
episode that they would probably be doing a scorched earth.
Yeah, you're using your precog powers. You got it right and
Oh
won.
no, go figure the people who were based on Russians and Prussians would do a scorched earth. Who could have guessed?
But yeah, no, like the Alliance plan is terrible and doomed to fail, and everyone realizes that, and the Empire's plan is absolutely perfect. And now the question comes, how is Yang gonna pull this off into at least a draw? Because today is the Yang versus Reinhardt episode, round 2, with Yang in the worst possible position he could be in once again. As opposed to the last time when he was in the worst possible position and had to pull himself out of a hole.
I mean, I would think technically this would be round one. It's just a two-parter of an episode. Because they actually haven't encountered each other yet.
Well, I'm talking like towards like the first couple of episodes we had when they first met and interacted and ended up in the weird circle draw, right?
Oh, you mean like of a lifetime of combats?
Yeah, yeah.
I thought you meant
So,
of I've caused you to lose all your food. That's round one. Here's round two.
in that context, that's also true. I'm definitely giving you that one. But let's go to the recap real quick, where last time was the episode The Verge Death Part 1. The Alliance Expeditionary Force successfully occupies Imperial star systems without resistance, but faces a logistical crisis as the Empire enacts a scorched earth strategy, leaving the liberated territories without food and supplies. Despite warnings from logistical head Alex Kazern, Supreme Commander LaSalle Lobos dismisses the severity of the situation and instructs only to request more supplies. Faced with dwindling resources, wenli initiates plans for a strategic withdrawal, convincing the fleet commanders to prepare to retreat, but encounters obstacles in obtaining the necessary orders from Lobos, who is unavailable because he's asleep, or so they say. Meanwhile,
Well, I thought that he was asleep as given, because he seems like that kind of asshole. You thought they were making it up.
right, which makes him also an asshole, but in a slightly different way. Meanwhile, Reinhard von Lohenheim at the Empire orders Siegfried Kirchis to intercept and destroy the Alliance supply convoy, gearing up for a counterattack against the expeditionary forces. So that's where we are. Big old mouthful. The scene is completely set, and we are about to get into the fight. So, Theta, I gotta ask, what's on your mind? What are Theta's thoughts?
I don't think we've actually said this, but this is the last episode of the season. So,
Ooh, oh, it is, it is.
yeah, because then we go into, I guess the other seasons are meant to be like movies, but they're also cut into episodic things, like 4 episodes a season that combine together form a complete movie.
An OVA, essentially, you would say, right?
I don't know. I don't think so, because they're movie length. Or, I guess they're the bare minimum of a movie length. I think minimum movie length is, 90 minutes?
Yeah, minimum is usually 90, I think, in most
And we're looking at probably, 24-minute cuts, so somewhere nearish to a little less than an hour and a half, maybe. So
right, so still an equivalent amount of content, but just dealt with differently.
Right.
It makes sense, it's fine.
But yeah, that's where we're at. I figured we didn't say that.
Right. But this is the end of our first season. It's going to lay out how basically the rest of this series is going to go. And honestly, I'm just listening to like how this has been set up and going, this is it. It's over. The Empire wins.
I don't know.
I
Galactic Heroes, not galactic badasses, right? They have to be a hero for a reason.
So we're going to see how they manage to resolve this, ostensibly with 5 more seasons behind it. So
I think 3 or 4.
3 or 4? Okay. Well, I'm not sure there's much more I can do to really speculate here. I say let's just go ahead and see all their supplies get blown up. Are you ready for that, Theta?
No, actually, because I haven't given any of my thoughts yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was
I thought my only thought was to bring up that this was the last episode of the season.
To be fair, so natural.
To be fair, I did hear you winding up to finish, and I was like, do I interrupt or just finish and then do the thoughts and I'll just cut it back in? Nah, you gave me an opening, so I took it.
All right, go ahead and take it.
I have to wonder if the name of these 2 episodes refers to all the characters we have accumulated over all this time, or the Imperial citizens. Technically, if you consider their situation, Reinhardt has allowed them to be starved to the verge of death in order to create a pressing situation for whenever the Alliance fleet arrived to liberate them.
I think contextually it is the Alliance fleet is, quote, on the verge of death in the position it's in, but, like, you make a good point. We kind of have the setup for the largest disaster in human history.
You keep saying that. You bring that up in every episode of every show.
Involved? How many people on those worlds are starving and, like, starting to riot? Like, this is a clear and present disaster. It also involves like an extra 300 military individuals on one side and then probably about the same on the other. How many people could possibly be involved more than this?
Look, all I can think of is back to when we were watching Gundam, and you're like, they're like, it's the worst thing of human history, and you're like, nah, it couldn't be. And then half of human civilization is destroyed. Like, oh, okay, I guess it was. That is
and here you think we're gonna get the reverse?
Oh no, this time you're saying it, and it's like, I don't know, your track record on guessing these things is you second guessed the Gundam one, and it turned out to be true. And
0 out of 1 so far, everyone.
Yeah. I think the real difference between our 2 primary characters is their objectives in the war. Yang is clearly laying out his objective is to have as few deaths as possible and being happy with a stalemate, while Reinhardt's objective is victory and invasion. It kind of reminds me of that Star Trek. I just realized that's 2 notes now in a row where I'm referencing Star Trek for some reason. And you gotta know that I'm writing all these notes probably on the same day, so I must have been watching Star Trek.
There's no way you could reference to one of those popular sci-fi series ever twice.
Usually I try not to, like using the same descriptive word for a thing in the same sentence.
Yeah.
It kind of reminds me of that Star Trek episode where the tactician guy beats Data at a game, then Data later comes back and makes the guy give up uh, by not trying to beat him, but just trying to not lose. Yang would be Data in that example.
Um, yeah, no, like I think that's a good example right there. The difference in objectives, one can be completed, the other one can be forestalled forever. I mean, I don't have much more to say. I think that puts it perfectly.
Look, we record Full Metal Alchemist after this. I'm just praying to God I haven't written down a note for Full Metal Alchemist that involves Star Trek. Because that'd be
Yeah, you
four
know,
for
one of
four
the
today.
episodes of Full Metal reminds me of a Star Trek episode where they're talking about Data and the value of his life, you know? Reminds me of the homunculus, actually.
This really reminds me of a TOS episode of Star Trek where they go to that away planet with the White Rabbit and the McCoy has to fight a knight.
Really reminds me of that Voyager episode where Janeway turns into a lizard.
Well, so does Tom Paris. You know they go back, right? They
I know they
investigate
do.
that in
I
later
know.
media, I believe, in Lower Decks.
Hyper advanced lizards, even.
How odd it must be to an Imperial citizen on one of these worlds. It's been hundreds of years since anyone's seen an Alliance force. That's about 7.5 generations.
Hmm.
That's the equivalent of your dad telling you a story about how your great 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 grandpa fought in the first Sikh War. Despite that being a real example, I have no doubt you're just as clueless as to what war that was as most of our viewers are.
Yeah, I was like, deep cut right there. I'm pretty sure I can't place where that one is.
Because even in our information age, that's a long time ago, and a lot of shit has happened between then and now. Most of the Imperial locations we've been shown, beyond one city planet, seem to be agrarian worlds, with little in the way of high technology. I'd be willing to bet that when the Alliance showed up, these people just saw Imperials in blue uniforms. I mean, hell, one of them had to ask the other one if they knew how a gun worked.
Yeah, they are a little bit backwards, but also like the context again that these are all agricultural worlds. Uh no, I guess maybe it's not so weird. The Empire just like forces them to cut everything ahead of time, and then they have to like wait like another few months for anything to grow. I was about to say, like, no way, like an entire planet just starves, right? It's like, no, this is a politically engineered disaster. That's usually how
I
famines
think the
go.
best example would probably be like State Farms in. No, I'm not talking about the insurance company. I'm talking about
Uh-huh.
the Soviet Union.
Yeah,
You know, where everything is. Sorry, not State Farms. Collective Farms is what I meant to say.
there you go. Okay.
Collective farming, where everything is just operated on a macro scale across the entire continent. So, not
Mhm.
the entire country. So that when one part of it fails, everybody can still starve. Despite, confusingly, the fact that you live on a massive farm. So an agrarian
Yeah.
world run in a collective farming scenario can still
Mhm.
starve to death despite the entire planet only producing food.
Right. Also, like on the context of like this is the first time they've seen this entire group of people. It's like, yeah, this is a first contact scenario now. No one has any context other than hearing maybe they're bad. That's literally it. The average Imperial citizen cares even less than like the average Alliance citizen does. I don't think the Imperial citizens half know they're at war with the Alliance sometimes, is my guess.
Well, no, that's the implication that I just gave.
Yeah.
I said they're 7.5 generations removed from knowing about the Alliance running off on an ice ship somewhere. You know?
Yeah.
That these, like I said, these people land, all you know is the Empire. Why would you believe? It's like when I don't know if you watch reaction videos online, weirdly, but
Yeah.
who does that? But there's the videos about where they like take people from India, like tribal people from India, and have them react to just videos on the internet, like how large the universe is, right? And
Yeah.
they think basically India is the size of Earth because it's so large, and how would you know without context?
Mhm.
So that kind of thought that all they know is the Empire, so the Empire must be everything. Oh, look, Imperial officers wearing different uniforms.
There you go. There you go. Oh, what else we got?
Just an interesting note, but in last episode, the Brunhilde was at a water port, half submerged before it took off into space. Just
Mhm.
thought that was an interesting visual, and I guess that makes that port viable for all definitions of the word.
It was so cool. I honestly loved all the animation and visuals on it. It is I think we even commented it's like it was the heroic takeoff moment for Reinhardt, right?
I just think it's noteworthy that they keep their ships in water, even though they're spaceships. And it also means that that port that they took off from could also have sailing ships. Literally every definition of the word port, that port is.
I guess theoretically a spaceship is also airtight. That's the best I can give to it.
So again, this would be a great part if you would ever watch Nadia. Because Nadia, the Nautilus is from the future, apparently. It's not really explained yet. But it's, I guess, a spaceship too. But it's also the submarine that you know from 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Oh yeah, spaceship submarine. How many atmospheres can it handle as a spaceship? Well,
A lot.
0 to 1.
No, it's not that joke. A lot. It
Yeah.
goes to the bottom of the ocean a lot. So why not? I guess if you're submarine, you've got a really thick hull, right? Which just means it's armor when you're in space.
I guess.
Your space battleship is also a submarine. That tends to be
Highly
unintentional.
pressurized environment.
I guess you find that out unintentionally, but it works out.
Gosh, that'd be hell of explosive decompression once you get to space.
That was it.
Oh, okay. That's all. All right. So that's all the thoughts that we have for today. I say let's go ahead and get on into it and see what happens in this battle. But before we do, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below to view that algorithm. On top of all that, if you watch more shows like this, unfiltered, uncensored, and uncut, as well as some early access stuff, you can go ahead and follow us over the Patreon. It's just $5 a month, but no pressure. It's also for the challenge, just a little bit extra.
Click the link down below. Join the Discord. Let us know what your favorite one of the upcoming seasons is, but don't tell us about it.
無残なことになったな。
住民との信頼関係を築くことはおそらくも
うやれば勝てると分かってはいても、自分にはここまで徹底的にはやれない。まったく見事だ。ローエングラム伯。
Oh, at least he's realized he's responsible.
Well, I mean, they know. They know who's in charge on both sides. They both bring it up all the time. By the way, that means to your health, if you didn't know.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. It's just perfectly ordinary cheer then.
Yeah, for wine gatherings. When I was doing my rewatch to take notes and everything, I was like, what the hell does that mean, by the way?
Yeah.
It's just a little thing you do when you're drinking wine, not a not a military thing or a Prussian thing or anything.
Just general cheer for drinking. Prosit. I'm gonna do the every sip of water
Fuck
today.
you. You alliance asshole.
Yeah, there you go. I was trying to be culturally sensitive.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm gonna throw my glass through a wall.
Another. Oh gosh, no! Like I'm too poor for smashing glasses. You know, I see any character do that in any media, I just go no.
Griff, I'm poor enough that the glass is more structurally sound than my house. When I say I'll destroy a wall, I mean it'll go through it and probably the next wall over, like I'm in some sort of Superman movie.
Gonna start at the Monty Python bit. It's just like, oh yeah, well you were lucky then. We lived in a cardboard house. Oh, luxury. We didn't even get cardboard.
Oh, I know that more from Deadpool. That's how he meets his girlfriend.
The conspicuously dense asteroid field. Of course.
敵輸送船団を捕捉。帝国標準航路空間転移可能エリア内を航行中。
Do remember though, this is how Yang won in the simulation before.
Oh yeah, he's got experience. I was expecting a deeper chess metaphor to happen, but honestly, just like starting to make moves against each other is good enough, right?
なんだ前線で何かあったのか前線ですとここが前線ですあれがお見えになりませんか索敵範囲内に艦船
I hope this is our guy from the simulator that Yang beat, and I just don't recognize him.
Oh, that'd be funny.
I've seen this before.
たかが補給部隊一つにこんな大軍をなぜだ
Because they want every single thing you got.
敵補給船団は全滅我が方の損害は戦艦中波一隻のみこれで敵の補給船を断つことに成功しました少々につなげ
Ah, the Zoom call.
かねてからの計画に従い総力をもって反乱軍を撃て
Now we have to determine, Griff. Do I win or do you win?
Here we go.
I mean,
Oh, that is such a
technically,
pretty shot.
we are both in ships in this episode, in the combat.
It's face to face. It's a face off.
各艦隊司令官に通達我敵と遭遇せりとなはっもう少し早く撤退する腹をくくれていれば
What, like you did last episode?
戦艦に通達
They were trying to.
Cool, then if they actually make it go out of this, we've got the added benefit of you'll have lost the combat and threatened the commanding officer and didn't even retreat afterwards.
Oh, all this looks so good. It's gorgeous.
血のりは人の輪にしかずやがて第13艦隊も救援に駆けつけるあのミラクルヤンガだ勝利は疑いないぞ
That's a little too confident.
I don't know, word on the street that he might one day become a galactic hero. What if that doesn't happen, by the way?
What if
What?
Olympian just dies?
No, what if it doesn't happen? What if it turns out to be a Vinland?
Oh, Reinhard goes home and farms for a whole season.
The Galactic Hero thing was just heaven. Just another name for heaven.
占領地からの撤収は完了しております移動を開始しますか
いやこのままでいいこの聖域は濃いガス帯の影響で光学兵器の射程が短い接近戦で敵を撹乱して脱出のチャンスを探ろう空戦隊を準備させておいてくれ
Was the fighter craft?
I guess so.
このままご帰還だったらどうしよう
Oh,
I'm
we saw them.
excited for the new outfit.
We saw them barely in the first episode. I'm hating how many new names I'm seeing. That
Gotta
board is
put the
getting
entire
bigger.
Fire Squadron on the board, Theta. Come on.
You know I'm going to.
Look,
That's
if they
the
all
problem.
die, you don't gotta.
No, I do gotta, because they might be related to somebody else. We'll find out later. Is his symbol a heart with a woman on it who's just stretching her legs?
I guess so. Very classic fighter kind of emblem thing.
No, usually it's a bit more gaudy than that.
Maybe they toned it down a bit in the future. See, it feels more like a trucker emblem. Oh.
So it's TIE fighters versus space kites.
Hell yeah. Oh, the whole budget is here today. Oh, it feels so good.
Oh, these are even better than TIE fighters.
This is the point where like all this planning could just like completely fall apart just due to the effects of individual soldiers. I'm feeling Code Geass here today.
Oh, projectile weaponry in space, too?
Well, they're like within like 5 meters of each other here.
Yeah, but they're whipping around in 360 degrees. How many of these bullets are going to go off and hit one of the other ships?
Yeah, number one rule of space. If it goes into space, it keeps going. Oh, that's even worse. Oh, the whole thing is crumbling.
Damn you reasonable people!
I want everyone to just be like starving and cranky and start a fight. That's what I'm expecting.
Not that I meant to mess up the first time, mind you. To be fair, I think it's a pretty good trade-off still. You're starving to death, we're dying. So,
Yeah.
I think we just count this a loss for the both of us.
Damn, didn't think they had Starkiller Base too.
Well, I mean, it's basically the flagship, right? Oh, no, wrong ship.
Absolutely perfect plays.
Don't worry, men. There's 20,000 ships.
Oh gosh.
Never mind, worry.
Worry a lot.
I took that as stoicism, not I've done everything I could.
There's nothing we can do. Play the music. Oh, this is a nice classical going on, though.
I was literally thinking, there's 20,000 ships, there's no chance they'll pick off us on a random shot.
Oh, here we go, fighting back.
Griff, I think your chances of winning are dramatically going down the more you commit suicide in the middle of your fighting.
It is going down faster and faster.
I mean, that was one of your admirals.
Yeah? He's going in head first.
I like to think this isn't the background music of the show. This is what's just playing on every Imperial ship.
Diegetic, yeah, there we go. I love, though, how, like, we're getting, like, personalities from everyone just based on their fighting style. The long-range snipers, the fly me closer, I want to hit them with my sword guy. We're getting good glimpses here. They're trying to make the best use of time for, like, this massive engagement.
No, it's so much better for morale if we let you live to explain what went wrong.
戦闘可能な艦は我が機関を含め1000隻余りです。もはや戦闘を続行するのは不可能です。降伏か逃亡を選ぶしかありません。
不名誉な二者択一だな。降伏は性に合わん。
I'm almost saddened that like we don't have a narrower cast of people for like individual admirals here to like also have rivalries alongside Yang and Reinhardt, right?
私が先陣を切って突破口を開く。準将、君は戦闘不能な艦を率いて逃げてくれ。
ウランフ提督。
頼んだぞ準将。
包囲2次全艦最大戦速。
離れずについてこい。
Ramming speed, let's go.
No, they said we'll flee.
Yeah.
That one certainly did play chicken, though. I'm gonna count that guy as dead.
Oh, probably.
Never mind. I am wrong on every account. Wait, now maybe?
Yeah, for sure.
帝国軍の猛攻を受け、同盟軍遠征艦隊は圧倒的に劣勢な状況に追いやられていた。だが、
Yeah, the 13th Fighter Squadron's gonna solve this entire fight.
の例外がヤンの第13艦隊だった。
敵空戦隊の来撃による損害が激しく、このままでは陣形が保てません。反乱軍の小賢しい戦術に屈しろというのか。不名誉な事態になる前に対処す
The
る。
thing is, though,
さらなる攻撃のために部隊を再編する。
the more the Empire wins everywhere else, the more force is going to be able to be applied to the 13th Fleet.
Oh, yeah, he's just consolidating it all under himself, I suppose.
ここで無理をして勝ったところで全体として敵の優勢は覆せない。今我々が取るべき道は一つ。
Escape back to Logenheim, or whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
The super important place whose name I can just never get right.
ケンプ艦隊から逃れたヤン・ウェンリー率いる第13艦隊はイゼルローンへ帰投すべく
アイソホーン
進路を取っていた。
See, I even said it wrong. It's right there in my face.
前方に識別信号のない複数の艦影を確認。
この中域にはホーウッド中将の第7艦隊が駐留しているはずだが、
それにしては数が多すぎます。
規模は
我が艦隊のおよそ3倍です。
敵だな。
第7艦隊はすでに敗退したものと考えざるを得ません。
報告、哨戒艦からの通信途絶。
捕捉されました。
Yep, definitely the enemy.
Wait, they recaptured Iserlorn?
およそ1万。
No, I think it's they're passing through a sector another fleet should be in.
Right, right.
Yeah, remember, because this is where the transport ships are coming, which means it's just outside of Iserhorn. Iserhorn, whatever.
この機を逃さず敵を攻撃する。全艦最大戦速。
司令部より各艦へ全艦最大戦速。
Oh, this would be a real bitch move if you somehow killed Kirches here.
Oh, that would just like set the tone for 4 seasons, wouldn't it?
We decimated all of your fleets, but you killed my best friend. Or romance interest, it's hard to tell sometimes.
A literal wall of ships.
これより作戦行動に移る。
帝国軍と遭遇の一報以来、情報は混乱を極めております。第3、第7、第10、第12艦隊は更新不能。第5、第8、第9、第13艦隊は健在なようですが、
That's the 4 fleets left, huh?
戦況はつかめていません。最高評議会としても今回の遠征をただの負けにはしたくないようだ。何ですと？分散している各艦隊を再編して敵を迎え撃つ。 全軍に通達してくれたまえ。
Throw everything at them.
He's a political commander.
いえ、前線にそれだけの戦力が果たして残っているのかどうか。再編しても敵の戦力以下であれば現状を覆すどころかさらなる損失も。全軍をアムリッツァ政権に集結させる。閣下、これは命令である。
Remember during Gundam Seed when I had the whole discussion about the moral obligation?
Yeah.
To disobey an order that doesn't have moral grounds? Yeah.
Could be. We might be getting there.
ケレン味のないいい傭兵をする。ローエングラム伯は優秀な部下を持っているようだ。
総司令部より緊急暗号通信。
読んでくれ。
本月14日を期してアムリッツァ政権 A ポイントに集結。即時戦
I mean, if anyone's gonna disobey, I assume it'd be Gang.
何を今さら。弾けるものならとに弾いておるわ。
簡単に言ってくれるな。
いかがなさいます。
Disregard the signal.
重陣に再編成。しんがりに土級戦艦を集中配備し、牽制しつつ戦線の離脱を図る。我々の目的はアムリッツァへ向けて転進することだ。
He's going through with it.
することだけが戦術目標と思ってくれていい。もっとも敵もこちらの動きを予想しているだろうがね。
これでダメなら何をやってもダメでしょうな。
現時点で選択しうる最良の戦術です。同感です。
But why keep following the orders until you die? To be fair, I guess that sort of unending loyalty is the only reason you can get 20,000 ships together, and some of them just don't break off and run.
Right, right. Gosh, I'm just thinking, like, some of these fleet battles have to just take days, right?
Well, yeah, I mean, also, remember the massive distances that we talked about before.
Oh, yeah.
See, we know they've got shields, too. You'd figure they'd be rotating ships in and out, so the shields could just take the brunt and move.
This has got to be Yang waiting for him to take the bait. There we go, the counterattack. I'm just loving all the little details there that they're just showing off.
Perfect. It was a slight lean of, how disappointing.
Yeah, it's like, that's all the lines we're gonna get from him today.
辛い決断ですが提督、あなたは正しい。
Kind of brutal, but also understandable.
Well, no, yeah, they're giving you the opportunity.
It is a different sort of war story angle for sure.
It's like anytime you're playing a tabletop game and the tank says, "Run! I'll hold them off." Then everyone fucking dies because no one wants to run.
Yeah.
しかしただ逃げ込むだけとも思えん。K はどう思うか。
集結して再構成に出るつもりでしょう。どう対応なさいますか、閣下。
当然我が軍もアムリッツァに集結する。敵がアムリッツァを墓所としたいのであればその希望を叶えてやろうではないか。
Oh, he's high on confidence today.
宇宙歴796年、銀河帝国歴487年10月14
The
日、
year the Alliance fell.
銀河帝国軍は自由惑星同盟軍が決戦の地と定めるアムリッツァー星系へ進路を取った。ヤン・ウェンリーと
What if this is the prequel?
ローエングラム、
It is kind of, isn't it?
アムリッツァーの地で相まみえることとなる。
No, what I mean is...
Cliffhangers.
What? No, this is the last one. Remember, we're going to no seasons. What if the
I
next
know.
3 seasons is just all that battle? That all the people that we've been learning about till now are just all the people at that battle. So now that we know when we lose one, that's all the people we're gonna get.
If we get one massive 3-season long battle, I think honestly my brain's gonna break. I don't think I've seen anyone do that before.
Well, I mean, they've set us up with how many numbers there are, what fleets are left, who the people in charge of each fleet are, who
What
everyone
their
is.
personalities are like.
Who everyone is. That would set us up to keep track of everything. The best
Yeah, we
big
just like
battle
slow
of the
down
war.
time, pan into every little individual thing happening or something.
Who would have
Oh,
guessed one of them
gosh.
would have shot himself in the head?
I didn't get like the full resolution I wanted, which is like, how does this end? But
Well, you're losing.
right, I'm losing, but it's not over yet. You know, we still got one more.
One more what?
Well, one more chance to do something, I guess. Yeah, Yang's got something in his pocket, right?
You've lost half of your fleets, which means that you're now down to... I don't know, I'm not going to do the percentage thing. Hold on, we'll see if we get a next season on or something.
Yeah, let's see what we get.
次回、銀河英雄伝説リ・ノイエテーゼ
Maybe
第
I'm wrong.
13話アムリッツァー。
Anyway,
One
whatever
more
on that.
episode.
Well, no, I'm pretty sure that's just counting into the next thing and it's already... Anyway,
Right.
I've already forgotten what I was going to say. Go on.
Yeah, I didn't get the resolution I wanted, but I still love this episode just because, again, all the budget is here. Everything looks absolutely beautiful. There's some gorgeous shots of space going on. Lots of fun little details. Like they're trying to throw in a whole lot of stuff all at once, like on the story side and narrative, because again, we got to go through like 20 people and what they're up to in 20 minutes. So we're not spending a lot of time anywhere doing anything. Instead, I'm engaging on just like the artistry of it, how great the animation looks, and just enjoying the vibe of it, I guess, as it's setting up its entire next stage.
My point before, and I just thought of it.
Okay.
You had 60% of the entire Alliance fleet. You've
Yeah.
lost half of that, which
Yep.
does not equate to actually down to 30% of the fleet now. But, yeah, you lost half of that. No, sorry, you had 50%? What was your percentage? I've already forgotten.
I think it was 60 to start with. So now they're at 30% of the original fleet size.
Okay, and then Reinhard had 50% of the Imperial fleets.
Yep. And has probably not taken in more than 5%, right?
Which, of course, we don't know the total size of the fleets are. We
Right,
probably could reverse engineer the numbers. So we don't know if 50% of one
Well-
is equal to 60% of the other.
They did tell us the number of men in ships before. So, like, we started with 30 million people on the Alliance side. So there's like 15 million now. A lot of people have died.
Well, no, I mean, reverse the numbers back to be able to figure out how many the Alliance has total. Not in this engagement, or rather, the campaign. But, I mean, overall, like, how many ships are still left in the Alliance that didn't come, etc.
Yeah. That wouldn't be too hard to do. All we had to do is just refine those original numbers first.
Right.
I think we could
But we
probably do it.
don't have the numbers for the Imperial side. We don't know
Yeah, the
how
Empire
much.
just big.
We
Just
don't
being
know how
told
many
again.
ships 50% of the Empire is that Reinhardt's coming with. Like,
Mhm.
like if we have 60% of the Alliance fleet, and the Alliance fleet is like 1,000,000 ships, just
Yeah.
a soft example, and Reinhardt is 50% of the Imperial fleet, and the Imperial fleet's 1,000,000,000 ships. Like, I'm just saying,
The numbers are a little bit off then, right?
yeah, using percentages to be vague is cool and all, but you really just can't compare 50% to 60% when like 50% is like what's
It really just wants to give you the vibe for it. It doesn't want to care too much about it, I think. It just wants to tell you the Alliance is in a bad place. They're going to a certain area and they're going to do a desperate defense versus a much larger, better organized force. And that's all the storytelling they want to give there. I don't think they want to give the number.
I think they do. I think they do because they've given us the number a lot for one side. So I think we're just waiting for the swing back to give us the information. Because otherwise, why would you give us the number of ships and the amount of people?
Right.
If you were trying to be vague. That is literally going out of your way not to be vague.
Oh gosh. So I mean, I'm hyped for like how this resolves, but we gotta wait. We don't get it. Theta, is there anything else on your mind right now?
No. Obviously, this would be another watch through, one to get the names, and otherwise, watch that guy commit suicide again.
Well, at least you know who's dead, right?
Oh, I'm sorry, YouTube. To unalive himself.
There you go, yeah. So, time to go ahead and put an end to this broadcast right here. This has been Stoneface Reactions, everybody. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we'll catch you next time. See you around. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?